So some of the things that are really good about this job are I get to do fun things in beautiful places. But that's a very personal reward. It's almost a selfish reward. Really one of the most extraordinary positive aspects of this work is what's happening in Antarctica affects us over here in central Pennsylvania. Sea levels are rising, glaciers are melting, temperatures are rising, sea ice is melting. All these things affect us here in the US, and I have a piece of that. I'm working on that, I'm studying that, I'm learning about it, and boy, is that ever an exciting and deeply fulfilling part of the job. So that's the positive part. And the downside of it is I'm gone from home a long time. I'll leave here sort of mid-November. You have to remember in Antarctica the seasons are reversed, and so it's summertime down there, November, December, and January. And so I go down there when it's, quote, summer, even though it's still cold. As you can see, the snowmobile's whipping by behind me. And I'm away from home for 10 weeks at a time, and that's pretty hard on the family. But nevertheless, we manage. I've been doing this for a number of years. So those are you have to always balance these things. If there's one cliche that people know about glaciers is, oh, it's moving at a glacial pace. You get behind your grandmother driving a Buick LTD and you say, oh, she's moving at a glacial pace. One of the extraordinary things that I have discovered that nobody expected, I didn't expect, anybody else expected, is that these glaciers are astonishingly dynamic. They change the speed at which they flow from their standard glacial pace to what are for glaciers extraordinarily fast rates over very short periods of time. So let me give you an example. Most glaciers flow maybe 2 or 3 feet in a day, and that's a book and pace for a glacier. Most glaciers, 90% of the glaciers will flow maybe a few inches per day, but the really fast ones might make it to 2 or 3 feet in a day. Well, there's one glacier in particular in Antarctica that I've worked on a lot called Willen's ice stream that goes the whole range. Part of the day it goes at 0 to 1 inch per day, just hardly moving at all, just sitting there stuck. And then for very short periods of that day, it'll suddenly lurch forward. It'll speed up to 5 or 10 or 15 feet per day. The speed at which it's going will suddenly just whip forward. Now, 15 feet per day might not sound like a lot to you. You could probably do 15 feet in just a few seconds if you're just walking along. But for a glacier to speed up from nothing to very, very fast for a glacier and then back to nothing in a day is an astonishing phenomenon, and one that nobody really expected. And I'm really quite proud to have been a part of that discovery. So let me talk a little bit about what comes next. We've spent a lot of time studying the continent. We've learned some of these extraordinary things that we didn't know, what I referred to a little while ago about how the glaciers can change their speed at rates that we hadn't understood. It's those sorts of unanticipated, unexpected behavior modes of the glacier that we really need to nail down in the coming years. So when scientists go out, they like to, and study a system, they like to build computer models of how that system is operating now and how it's going to operate in the future so that we can dial in different parameters. We can say, okay, the temperature is going to go up by 2 degrees. What'll happen to Antarctica? It'll go up by 3 degrees. What'll happen to Antarctica? Well, for us to believe those projections, to believe those prognostications, those models need to be good models. And we're finding out that these glaciers are changing so rapidly that our models aren't as good as we thought. And that's what we're going to have to work on next.